Class of 2021, good morning and welcome. I really love this event after last night, 900 plus students. This is exactly how we should be celebrating this beautiful morning. Today we celebrate the University of Arizona's 157th commencement and the 16th Interdisciplinary and Biomedical Sciences Convocation. This has been a year of tremendous challenges answered by extraordinary resilience. We recognize the efforts made by countless people at the university and really around the world to adapt and to sustain all of us. Thank you. Dr. Polvanera, would you please welcome our Spanish-speaking guest?
Buenos días. Bienvenidos a la Universidad de Arizona. Hoy celebramos el 157 aniversario de la graduación de la Universidad de Arizona y el 16º aniversario de la convocatoria de programas de posgrado en ciencias interdisciplinarias y biomédicas. A nuestra familia de Wildcats y los graduados que ven este día desde todo Arizona y el mundo, gracias por unirse a nuestra celebración. Este ha sido un año de tremendos desafíos, respondidos por una extraordinaria resiliencia. Reconocemos los esfuerzos realizados por innumerables personas en la universidad y en todo el mundo para adaptarnos y sostenernos a todos. Gracias. Doctor Rivas, el piso es de usted.
Muchas gracias. Thank you. Please rise if you are able and remove your caps for a special version of the national anthem performed earlier by Courtney Blank, graduating BFA candidate in musical theater, accompanied by Russell Ronnebaum.
Please be seated, and good morning, Wildcats.
President Robbins, you said we would be back in person, and here we are.
Dr. Rivas, I am so happy that we're able to be joined by everyone in this building this morning. Even though there are not a lot of us, it's nice to be here in person to celebrate the incredible accomplishments of the students. I understand you're an alumna of the Physiological Sciences GIDP class of 2019.
That's right.
And I couldn't be happier to be here with you and everyone in the Cole and Jeannie Davis Sports Center with our students.
I think we have about 40 students today for our ceremony. That's fantastic.
As we celebrate here on our beautiful campus, and it is a beautiful campus, and every evening in the stadium I look at the light on the stands, and every morning I look out and look at the light on the practice field outside. Just take a moment and enjoy that, because we're surrounded by beauty on this campus, and we're very fortunate. But we respectfully acknowledge that the University of Arizona is on unceded land of indigenous peoples. Today, Arizona is the home to 22 federally recognized tribes, with Tucson being the home to the O'odham and Pasquayaqui tribe. Committed to diversity and inclusion, the university strives to build relationships that are sustainable with our Arizona Native nations and tribal communities through educational offerings, partnerships, and community service. Our actions will recognize the past and lay the foundation for all future Indigenous students. To all the Wildcat family and graduates watching this morning throughout Arizona and around the world, thank you for joining our celebration. Graduates, let's be clear. This day is for you, to recognize all of your hard work and accomplishments.
This is a time to give thanks for everything we have and for the people who have dedicated themselves to make our lives better. First, we would like to thank our veterans, active duty guard, and reserve students in attendance with us this morning for their service to this nation. We would also like to wish good luck to our Wildcat ROTC student graduates who have commissioned as officers in the United States military.
And we can't tell you how thankful we are for the people on the front lines of this pandemic. From first responders to all of you who've stayed home, masked up, volunteered, and gotten vaccinated. Thank you so much. We're especially proud of people whose hard work, adaptability, and compassion have ensured we can continue to serve our students and our community. Very simply, Wildcats adapt and bear down.
To our governing body, the Arizona Board of Regents, who work tirelessly to lead, promote, and protect this institution and all it stands for, we thank you for all you do. As part of the University of Arizona alumni, I would like to congratulate you on this accomplishment. 2 years ago, I was on the other side of this podium, ecstatic to finally obtain my reward for all of my hard work. I know firsthand the obstacles and sacrifices many of you have had to endure to reach this point. On top of this, I would like to take time to acknowledge the emotional labor, social activism, and stressful mental gymnastics you have engaged in while completing your academic studies, all during a global health crisis and political instability. Your ability to thrive regardless is a testament to your tenacity. While this race concludes, a series of others commences. The knowledge you've gained from these lessons and perseverance will serve you well as you move forward in life. Finally, I want to acknowledge the communities of people who helped get you to this point. Educators, counselors, administrators, support persons, friends, and family. As you move through life, give back what you have received through volunteering and mentorship. The best reward is knowing how far you've come and the overabundance of talents that you can share. Congratulations to you for accomplishing this educational milestone, and we wish you success in your future endeavors. President Robbins.
This past year, I have been so impressed with all Wildcats. I know you will go on to do amazing things and that you will create positive impact throughout the world. As you do, know that our Wildcat family is behind you. We are proud of you. We're simply in awe of what you have accomplished and what you will do next. Before we move on to the recognition of our graduates, we are thrilled to share a few words from someone who understands the meaning of grit and how to accomplish incredible things in spite of overwhelming obstacles. Coach Adia Barnes took the Wildcat women's basketball team all the way to the NCAA championship when no one considered her and her team a threat. We're so excited to have her at this university and to hear a few words of wisdom from her this morning.
Congratulations to the class of 2021. You did it. This is the big day you've been waiting for. Now you can all take a deep breath. I'm sure you're all thinking, what are we going to do now? Now it's where the fun begins. Your life is actually starting. I know today there's a lot of questions. What am I gonna do next? Where am I gonna start? Don't worry about those things. Take everything one day at a time. It's all gonna work out. You will face adversity, but let me tell you, you just conquered adversity and graduated. You've had adversity for 14 months and you've dealt with it. So don't worry, don't be afraid. Go step out, step on a limb, take a chance. There are gonna be obstacles in life, but when things are hard, how are you gonna be? What's gonna define you? And who are you when things are hard? We've all faced tough times this year. I know with our team, not being able to spend time together, not being able to have team building events, all of those things have been difficult, but we got better. And believe it or not, you got better in some way during this time. I know it's been unprecedented. A lot of online classes, not the typical college life, but it's going to make you better. COVID has given us so much time to sit and reflect. We haven't always wanted that time, but it's been time that a lot of us needed for a mental reset. We all have had moments this year when we thought we were gonna quit. We thought things were just too tough, didn't know what to expect, didn't know what the next step was or what we were gonna face tomorrow. You are tough, you are resilient, you are made for this. That's the Wildcat way. When we were playing in the NCAA tournament this year, no one believed in Arizona. We were left out of promo videos. We were left out of all the advertisements, but we didn't care because we believed in ourselves and we believed in each other and our team. So we surged to the tournament, upsetting one team after another because we believed that we can accomplish something special. We didn't care what anybody else thought. We looked each other in the eyes and we fought for each other. We went to war with each other and we left our legacy here at Arizona and did something really special. If you would have asked me at the beginning of the year, oh, are you gonna play for a championship? I would have said, not now, we're not ready for that. But we did it. We did it because of our team, because of our mentality, our belief. We played with passion and grit and we were resilient. So we surged forward and we were one basket away from the national championship. No one in the world thought we'd be there. I don't even think we thought we'd be there at the beginning of the year, but we did it, and we did it the right way. Together. You are trying to grow, and you grow when things are uncomfortable. Don't be the stereotype. Don't fit into these categories where you don't belong. Surge forward, believe in yourself and everything you do, and always trust your gut. When you fail, you pick yourself back up. You set a goal, you go for it, you're not afraid. You're not afraid of what's next because you believe and you're passionate about what you do. When I took over the University of Arizona, everybody said, that's a bad job, you won't win. Well, I bet on me. Always bet on you. You can do anything you set your mind to if you're doing things the right way and you are passionate about what you do. The best piece of advice that I was given from my mother is you must be true to yourself. You must be the authentic version of yourself. You're not trying to be anybody else. You are going to fail. It's not a matter of if, it's a matter of when. You are going to fail, but every single time you fail, something better comes. I've been cut from the WNBA multiple times. I've lost jobs, didn't get opportunities. Every single time that has happened, something bigger and better came on. You are blessed, so enjoy every moment. Be intentional about what you do and don't apologize. One of my favorite quotes is by Paul Brandt. Don't tell me the sky's the limit when there are footprints on the moon. When people are telling you you can't do something, you don't listen. You bet on yourself. Learn from different people. I know I played 13 years overseas and I am a different woman today because of all the things I've learned from living in other countries. I lived in Russia, I lived in Turkey, in Italy, and I am a better person today because I had to adapt to all those situations. So be someone that listens. Don't be judgmental. Always listen with an open heart. And sometimes a lot of us, we don't listen enough. We talk, but be quiet. Look at people in the eyes with respect. The world we live in, it is a diverse world and people are different. So be one of the people that connects. Make this world a better place. The University of Arizona has changed my life. I always say I chose Arizona twice. I chose it as a student athlete, I chose it as a coach, and this was the best decision of my life. Everything started here. This is where the foundation for you and for me began. Being a Wildcat for life, it means you're part of a group, a network that is extremely special. A network that you will find overseas when you're in Italy, when you're in Russia, when you're across the country. You find friends in places that you never thought you'd have. When you succeed and you accomplish all those things you've ever dreamed of, you reach back and you pull someone else along. That's what it's all about. Come back, be the best alumni you can be, but be a part of this wonderful place. When you're a Wildcat, you are built for the difficult times. So now moving forward, we're forgetting about 2020. You're graduating, it's a new beginning. 2021, we're taking by the reins, and we are not knocking on any doors. We are going to doors and we are kicking them down and starting something special. We aren't looking back. We're forging forward and doing the best, but we're doing it by being the best version of yourself. We're not trying to be like anybody else. We are going to set the tone for something special, and you are gonna go make things happen. You will always have a family here. And watch women's basketball. Bear down, go Cats.
Thank you, Coach Barnes. And now I'd like to hand the floor over to Dr. Konhelis, Chair of the Physiological Sciences GIDP, to preside over the remainder of this morning's ceremony.
Thank you, President Robbins. It's really a wonderful day. I would like to take a moment to introduce those here on the platform with me. First, I would ask if you acknowledge yourselves so that they know who you are. Dr. Benedict Colombi, Faculty Director of the Graduate Interdisciplinary Programs. Dr. Francesca Polverino, Associate Professor of Medicine and Associate Research Scientist in Asthma and Airway Disease Research Center. Dr. Stephen Wright, Professor of Physiology and our keynote speaker this morning. Dr. Lonnie Lieberger, Director of Cellular and Molecular Medicine Program, as well as Graduate Program in Molecular Medicine. Ms. Dee Quinn, Director of the new Genetic Counseling Graduate Program. Dr. Nafis Ahmed, Acting Program Chair for the Department of Vein Biology. Dr. Raymond Wong, also a graduate of the GIDPs, Director of Perfusion Science Graduate Program. Dr. Benjamin Lee, Professor of Urology in the College of Medicine and this morning's faculty mace bearer. Dr. Isfan Molnar, Program Chair of the Arid Lands Resource Sciences and also Applied Biosciences Graduate Interdisciplinary Programs. Dr. Cynthia Morante, Program Chair of the Cancer Biology Graduate Interdisciplinary Program. Dr. Molly Hunter, Program Chair of Entomology and Insect Science Graduate Interdisciplinary Program. Thank you. I also want to introduce another very distinguished group that has played a critical role in the lives of today's graduates. Will the representatives of the faculty please rise and be recognized? Come on. The impact that you've had on their lives is certainly well recognized. I'd also like to recognize Dean Apkassis from the College of Medicine Tucson and Dean Carney, who are not able to be here in person, and all the individuals in the Graduate College who are critical to the smooth and successful operation, implementation, and completion of your graduate education. And I want to especially thank all the program coordinators who really make these graduate programs run. Finally, I would like to recognize the most important guests of all, those who provided the love and support that made this day possible. Graduates, please show your appreciation to your friends and family members here and at home. I would like to now introduce my GIDP colleague and mentor, Dr. Stephen Wright. I first met Dr. Wright during my faculty interview several years ago now, when he approached me after my talk and he said, "Great talk." It was nice and short. He wasn't impressed by the novelty of my science or the sophistication of my approach, but rather by the brevity of my talk. Well, apparently it worked because I got the job. So Dr. Wright is professor of physiology here, but he obtained his PhD in marine biology at UC Irvine. And from 1979 to 1982, he pursued a postdoctoral fellowship in the Department of Physiology at the UCLA School of Medicine. Then he joined the faculty of the Department of Physiology in the College of Medicine at the University of Arizona and has been professor of physiology since 1992 and of biochemistry and molecular biophysics since 2004. The focus of his research in recent years has been on mechanisms of renal drug transport. His research is broadly published with over 120 primary research papers, and he is, most of all, an excellent mentor. Dr. Wright is a true academic. I have always admired his dedication to the pursuit of educational ideals while building his scientific career. The many students at the UA, both graduate, medical, undergraduate, who had the privilege of attending one of Dr. Wright's courses would agree that Dr. Wright has a unique ability to engage students with his rhetoric coupled with a dose of comedy. Personally, I want to thank Dr. Wright for his mentorships and hope he enjoys his path to emeritus status. Dr. Wright.
Oh my. Thank you, John, and thanks to all my colleagues up here on the dais. Good morning. Thank you, Dr. Robbins. Special thanks to all who put this event together, especially under these trying circumstances. And congratulations to those with whom we're celebrating. In the best of times, what you have done would have been exceptional, but given what has been tossed at you this past year, it's nothing short of extraordinary. I don't have to describe the hurdles that COVID imposed on you. Others have done that. And you lived it, and you overcame it. And here you are, ready to move on, armed with that hard-won knowledge that there is little in life that you can't overcome. And here I am, testament to the adage that all things come to those who wait. My first commencement speech. But I can remember sitting where you are 45 years or so ago, and all you really want to do is troop across the stage, get hooded, and go celebrate with family and friends. But I stand between you and that celebration. What to say? Well, after reviewing all of the 51 million Google search results for commencement speech, that took 0.6 seconds. I took special note of two quotes. The first is attributed to the creator of Doonesbury, Gary Trudeau, who gave 37 of these commencement speeches. Commencement speeches were invented largely in the belief that outgoing college students should never be released into the world until they have been properly sedated. And the second, which is unattributed, Socrates was very intelligent. But Socrates gave long speeches and his friends killed him. So this occasion is about you and not about me. Still, I have a story, and I think it will show you the value of seeking out mentors. So my mentors, I've had four that in my mind effectively guided through my professional career. The first was John Crow. I met John when I was an undergraduate at UC Davis and stayed with him through my master's degree. John's unbridled enthusiasm infused in me the notion that science is fun. Pursuing it is itself a reason to be. In your future careers, seek that out. Find that element of joy in what you do. It's the single biggest contributor to a contented life. And finding a mentor who feels that way helps pave the way. My second was Grover Stevens. He was my PhD advisor at UC Irvine. Grover taught me how to do science, and his approach to his science is still the way I approach mine. There's not a day in the lab or my office where I'm thinking about how to design an experiment, how to think about results, that I don't think about him. The third was Ernie Wright, my postdoctoral advisor at UCLA, chair of physiology, National Academy member, both of which he obtained after I left. Ernie taught me about the pursuit of a professional career in science. Success in an academic career, or any career, requires more than just good hands and good ideas. So in addition to learning valuable new experimental techniques that I used for more than 20 years of my time here at the U of A, I got to watch Ernie work his way very successfully through all the other issues that face a career in academics. Success means so many different things in life. Find someone who has done it, and done it well, and learn from them. And the last of my mentors in my life was Bill Dantzler here at the University of Arizona. There were a number of reasons that I came to the Department of Physiology, but one of them was that Bill Dantzler was here. I was a comparative physiologist, and the name William Dantzler was synonymous with comparative renal physiology. Chair of Physiology, President of the American Physiological Society, editor of the American Journal of Physiology, Bill definitely did it well. And my interactions with Bill over the past 40 years and what I've learned from his successes contributed to every professional success that I've had. Now, virtually every professional organization has established mentoring programs, and that's great. Use these resources when they're presented to you. But the mentors that are most likely to change your lives are those that you seek out, because the relationship that develops between you and them is special in a way that cannot be predicted. So as you leave here to move on to whatever is next for you, be on the lookout for a person or persons who can help you get the most out of whatever that next is. Be proactive, and you'll see that the potential mentors are receptive, because being a mentor is incredibly rewarding. And as you mature into your future careers, you may have a chance to mentor others and embrace the opportunity. In the long run, being on both the receiving and giving ends of a mentee-mentor relationship has been the most rewarding aspect of my professional career, and I hope that will prove true for you. Again, congratulations, enjoy the ride, you've earned it. Dr. Conjiles?
I hate following Steve. He always delivers a great talk, and the mentoring aspect of what he spoke about is so rewarding to, I think, all of us on stage and all of us sitting to the left over here of me. It's an amazing part of what we do. So thank you, Dr. Wright. We're so glad that you joined us on stage today and inspired our graduates. President Robbins, I now have the honor to invite Dr. Leonie Leibarger, who will begin the hooding ceremony by reading the names of the College of Medicine graduates from cellular and molecular medicine. Graduates, please line up on the left side of the stage. And the mentors, will you please line up on the right side of the stage on this side. Lonnie, I'd like to get you up on stage. Thank you.
Well, good morning, everyone. I have the distinct honor to represent the faculty and staff of the Department of Cellular and Molecular Medicine. We're very proud of our graduates, their hard work, dedication, the talent they brought to our program, and we're very proud of them and look forward to introducing them to you today. First up, we have Kayla Verenice Falcon, who is earning her master's degree. Her mentor is Dr. Yana Zavros, but Dr. Zavros is unable to be here today, so I will be hooding Kayla. Next, we have Adi Gundaria. His mentor is Dr. Noel Warfel, and he's earning his Master of Science degree. Next, we have Maria Love, also earning her Master of Science. Her mentor is Dr. Nafis Ahmad. Finally, we have Shayla Suarez. She is also earning the Master of Science. Her mentor is Dr. Gene Wilson. And now I invite Ms. Dee Quinn to read the names of the graduates from the Genetic Counseling Graduate Program, as well as the graduates from the Clinical and Translational Sciences.
Thank you, Dr. Lieberger. It's my distinct honor and pleasure to introduce our first graduates from the newly established Genetic Counseling Graduate Program. Got it. Sorry. Okay, so thank you. I forgot to bring up the sheet of my names. So graduating from the Genetic Counseling Graduate Program is Rebecca Noel Coleman, and her mentor, Dr. Valerie Shively, will be hooding her. And our next graduate from the Genetic Counseling Graduate Program is Shaylin Smith, and I will be hooding her. It's now my honor to also introduce the graduates from the Clinical Translational Sciences program. And the first graduate is Monmek Helen Monven, and she will be hooded by Dr. Cornelis. And the next graduate from the Clinical Translational Sciences is Shiran Sungam, and she will also be hooded by Dr. Cornelis. It's now my pleasure to introduce Dr. Nafis Ahmad, who will read the names of the immunobiology and medical pharmacology and perfusion science graduates.
Good morning, everyone. It's my honor to read the names of the immunobiology program graduates. And the first are the doctorate degrees. Dr. Megan Stanley Molina. She will be hooded by Dr. Emmanuel Katsanis. Next is Dr. Yu Chen Shi. She will be hooded by her mentor, Dr. John Purdy. Next one is for the master's degree, Christina Bradshaw, and she will be hooded by Dr. Felicia Goodrum. Okay, I'm sorry, I think I went one. Okay, the Christina Bradshaw, the mentor is Dr. Janko Nikolic Zugic, and they will be joining remotely. Okay. Next one is Belen Molina, and she will be hooded by her mentor, Dr. Felicia Goodrum. Next is Mackenzie Cosgriff, and she will be joining remotely. Okay, that finishes the immunobiology program. Now I have the honor of reading the names of medical pharmacology and perfusion sciences program, the master's degree, Tian Hong Fu, and will be hooded by Patrick Ronaldson and Dr. Raymond Wong. Lucas Jensen will be hooded by Dr. Marvin Salapian and Dr. Raymond Wong. It's my pleasure to introduce Dr. Stephen Molnar for reading the names of Applied Biosciences GID program.
Thank you very much. Thank you, Professor Ahmad. Good morning, everyone. It is my distinct pleasure to welcome and congratulate the graduating students of the Professional Science Masters in Applied Biosciences program. First, it is going to be Danae Barker, and she's going to be hooded by her mentor, Professor Ahmad. Next graduate is Priya Zukoski, and she is also hooded by Professor Ahmad. Next is Samantha Heward, and she is hooded by Professor Stacy Tollerson. Next is Quiné Lassetier, and she is hooded by Professor Ryan Gutenkunst. Next is Madison Lewinson, and her mentor, John Sweezy, couldn't be here today, so she's going to be hooded by Professor Ahmad. Next is Elizabeth Titilayo Ogunbumi, and she is going to be hooded by her professor Bentley Fain. Next is Chancerina Port, and she is going to be hooded by Professor Michael Johnson. Last but not least, from the Applied Biosciences program is Taylor Wingfield. It's going to be hooded by Professor Daniela Zanescu. So it is my great pleasure also to represent another program, and this is the Arid Lands Resource Sciences PhD program. And we have 3 graduates. Maribel Cruz Ayala is the first one, and her mentor, Sharon Magdal, and the hooding is going to be done by Professor Margaret Wilder. The other 2 students will be supposed to be joining remotely. Drew Eppheimer, the mentor is Professor Michael Bogan, and Yurong Liu, and the professor is Diane Austin. Okay. So it is my also great pleasure to welcome Professor Cindy Mirante, who will be introducing the cancer biology graduate programs.
Help me in congratulating today Dr. Cody Schmidlin upon successful completion of his doctoral degree in cancer biology. He will be hooded by Dr. Donna Zhang. Dr. Molly Hunter will now read the names of graduates from the Entomology and Insect Science Graduate Interdisciplinary Program.
Good morning. I'm delighted to introduce the accomplished graduates of the program of Entomology and Insect Science. Our first graduate is Dr. Catherine Busby, who is graduating with a PhD, and her mentor is Dr. Judy Bronstein. Patricia Stock will hood her. Our next graduate is Dr. Ayako Kusakabe, and her mentor, Patricia Stock, will hood her as well. And our last graduate is Ashley Welchert, who's graduating with a master's, and her mentor, Dr. Vanessa Corby-Harris, will hood her. Finally, Dr. John Cornelis will read the name of the graduates from the Physiological Sciences Graduate Interdisciplinary Program.
Thank you, Dr. Hunter. Whew, it's been a long way. I would like to read the names of the graduates for the Physiological Sciences Graduate Interdisciplinary Program. I will start first with the presentation of the doctoral candidates. First, Ike Royal Chinyere and his mentor, Steve Goldman, have joined remotely. Dr. Claire Dulacia will be hooded by her mentor, Dr. Fiona Bailey. Heather Lynn, her mentor, Dr. Skip Garcia, could not make it, so Dr. Fiona Bailey will be doing, oh, you're not? Okay. Oh. I will be doing the hooding for Heather Lynn. And now for the presentation of the master's candidates. Joseph Agostini, his mentor, Dr. John Allen and Andrew Fugavan cannot make it, so I'll be doing the hooding. Next, Michael G., his mentor, Paulo Perez, could not make it, so he'll be hooded by Dr. Fiona Bailey. We got that right, finally. Next, Susma Gizmeri will be hooded by her mentor, Dr. Benjamin Rehnquist. Next, Sobi Kazmuz and his mentor, Dr. Jared Churko, will be joining remotely. Taylor Martinez and her mentor, Dr. Frank Duca, who could not make it, so I'll be doing the hooding. Next, Matthew Luan, his mentor, Michael Gradner, will be doing the hooding. Next, Brooke Mason, her mentor, Michael Gradner, will be doing the hooding. Next, Tyler Marks. His mentor, Dr. Jen Stern, will be doing the hooding. Thanks for your patience, Andrew. Appreciate it. Andrew Thomas will be hooded by me. His mentor, Dr. Skeet Chilton, could not make it. The doctorate is the highest degree conferred by any university. Not only are the doctoral degree recipients the ultimate academic achievers, they will now take their place among the world's scholarly societies, both teaching the next generation of students and creating the next generation of art, insight, knowledge, and discovery. I am particularly pleased to say that Arizona has been recognized as one of the top universities nationally in awarding PhDs to women and people of color. Will the doctoral candidates please stand if you are able and be recognized? President Robbins, I now have the honor to present those candidates who have met the requirements for doctoral degrees in graduate interdisciplinary programs. Will the new doctors please be seated? Will the master's candidates and candidates of all other professional degrees please rise if able and be recognized? President Robbins, I now have the honor to present those candidates who have met the requirements for master's degrees from the Physiological Sciences graduate interdisciplinary programs and other programs.
Got a little confused and went to the wrong podium. By the authority vested in me by the Arizona Board of Regents and acting on the recommendation of the faculty, at the conclusion of your academic coursework, I confer upon each of you the appropriate master's or doctoral degree with all the attendant rights and responsibilities. Please accept my warmest congratulations. Well done. Congratulations to all of our new graduates. Now, our guest, will also rise, and please join us in the singing of the alma mater. You will find the words on the screen. This was recorded previously on campus by Paige Mills from the College of Fine Arts, and she will lead us, accompanied again by alumnus Russell Ronnebaum.
All hail Arizona, your colors red and blue stand as a symbol of our love for you. All hail Arizona, to you will e'er be true. We'll watch o'er and keep you. All hail, all hail.
As we conclude the 157th commencement of the University of Arizona and the Interdisciplinary and Biomedical Sciences 16th Convocation, you may henceforth consider yourselves Wildcats for life. At this time, I invite my university colleagues and our esteemed guests to leave the stage. Congratulations again, and thank you for all being here in person to celebrate with us.